everybody, we're here with Sheila Cohoon. Hey, Sheila.
Hey, Jen, what's going on?
Hanging out. But I wanted to connect with you because you are a new agent, and we hear a lot that people are nervous to join EXP as a new agent because there's no office, and they're worried about the culture and they're worried about not being able to go somewhere. But you, as a new agent, joined. So I thought it would be interesting to hear your perspective and your thoughts.
Yes.
Please share.
Yeah, definitely. So, I have been an agent for, gosh, I got licensed in about August of 2019, joined EXP in October of 2019. And so I've been over here a little over a year. And, in the beginning, it was a little overwhelming. And I feel even now talking to most agents, that's what I get from them is, oh my God, it's a lot of information and things like that. But
That's all new jobs anywhere.
yes, that is all new jobs, right? But I did come from a quick hot second, a brokerage that had a broker at the office, and everybody would go there and talk to the broker about deals and things like that. But I didn't find it very different when I came to EXP in that regard because we can go to our broker. In fact, there's so many different ways that we can go to our broker and talk. We could go to their office in the virtual world. We could go to them in workplace chat and send a chat message, or we could call them on workplace chat phone. So, I mean, I feel like it's better than being at a brick and mortar facility because you're going to be more accessible to people, to other agents, and your brokers are going to be more accessible. So,
well, I kind of think too, you made me think of something when you said that. It is because culture is a big thing. I mean, was a big thing for me too. And it's like at when I was at the brokerage I was at before, we did all go into the office too, and it was fun and there was culture and stuff like that. But like here, there's still all of that, but it's like a bigger pool because like we never would have met.
No. That is the best part, I feel. When you're at a brick and mortar place, I feel like sometimes, even though there's like everybody talks and things like that, I feel like there's a sense of competition, right? Everybody's competing in generally the same market and against each other and things like that. Where you do have that at EXP, but the people you can talk to are from different states and different industries, commercial, or and it gets your mind going and it gets your horizons very broadened. Like there's so many different things that you can do. So I find the collaboration here at EXP one that you will never find anywhere else.
Yeah,
absolutely nowhere else. So that's the one part I love about EXP is the collaboration between agents from different cities and states and different avenues. Like, I could talk to a commercial agent if I wanted to.
Right.
I could talk to a senior person, somebody that handles the senior network.
Right.
So, and then if I wanted to get licensed in a different state, there's so many agents that I could talk to about that. So,
well, and you wouldn't have to go with a different brokerage if you did decide to do that, and you wouldn't have to pay additional fees if you decided to do that either. But I think you're nailing the nail on the head here. The culture does exist. I think that's the biggest piece for a lot of people. They're like, how am I going to get to know everybody? But you actually get to know a lot more people. And if you do have an issue or you have a question, you can go straight to the person who's the best at it, not thus the best in your office.
Right. And you could go to multiple people.
Yes.
There are so many different people that have different takes on the same thing, right? Because not every single person has gone through every situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even your broker may not have gone through every situation.
Right.
So there are people that you can tap into either on a state level or national level.
Or international.
Absolutely. And that even opens up a huge, fantastic world because you have that ability to refer people to different countries. I mean, where in the world can you have that other than EXP?
Right. Is that something that you realized ahead of time, or you just didn't realize it until you got into the system? Because I have a hard time like explaining it and telling people about it.
So
how did you know?
So the first thing that I thought about when I interviewed 3 brokerages, one was W, one was EXP, and one was Century 21.
Okay, all great.
Both of them, you know, were local brick and mortar places, and so and keep in mind, I was only a couple of month agent. You know, I wasn't an agent for that long, so I felt that EXP aligned with my technology background. I have a 30-year technology background, so it aligned very well with me. But then when I saw all the avenues that were open to me through EXP, I couldn't help but feel very blessed that I picked it, because had I not, I would never have known all of this. And it was something that most agents don't realize when they're interviewing the different brokerages.
Yeah.
But I think it's one thing that agents really need to put in the forefront when they're talking about agent attraction, is how many different avenues that EXP allows agents to utilize.
Yeah.
With the brokerage.
I'm curious how the training has been for you, how it compared to maybe what you had before.
So I feel that it's a double-edged sword, because I feel like EXP's training is amazing. They have so much of it. They have so many trainings in the world, and separately from the world, there's different trainings that, you know, different groups offer. I offer a training for graphics design to agents. But that's a double-edged sword, because there's so much, right? It's like, okay, what do I do first? Like, there's this shiny object and this shiny object, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you almost have to be paused by somebody and really be like, okay, I will do a training a day, or 3 trainings for the week,
or whatever it is.
Yeah. But you as an agent have to kind of be told, slow down, because it does get overwhelming. And again, that's the one thing I do hear is there's so much when you first get onboarded. There's so much to look at and see and do, and so.
Yeah, that's a good and bad. I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's not impossible. It's not impossible by any means. And the mentor program, you know, I want to speak to the mentor program, because I feel like that needs to be utilized as a new agent. A lot. I think that's one of the most important things as a new agent, that, you know, other brokerages, the brick and mortar brokerage that I went to does offer that, but that agent wasn't in the office very much.
Right.
So here you can access your mentor any day, any day of the week. You just go to chat and say, hey, I have a couple questions, or any of the mentors really are people that you can call immediately. When you mentored me in the very beginning, I was able to call you on the whim most times and chat with you.
Yeah.
So that is another great tool that EXP has. So.
Right. I think what you're speaking to is a mindset.
Yes.
So one thing that I realized here, even though like for me, I had traveled all over the world prior to COVID, and we had been working remotely. But even before I left, I thought working remotely, I was scared. And I thought this is going to be impossible. And then I realized it wasn't impossible. And so now that we've all been working remotely, I think people are starting to open up and be like, oh, it's actually more efficient. You have access to greater resources. I mean, there's all these positive things about it too, and you can still have community.
Absolutely. You know, a virtual brokerage makes sense. You know, how many people want to pay office fees anymore? For what?
No thanks.
You know, the real estate industry as an entirety has changed, you know, before I even got into it, but just the stories I've heard from older agents, how it used to be. And it's nothing like that. I mean, everybody can find houses on the internet. What do you need a brokerage for?
Well, the buyers know more about the seller in the house than we even know. We're like, dang, they've looked them up on Facebook. They've already stalked them, you know?
Exactly. So, I mean, it just makes logical sense to have something virtually.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay an office fee for. to have an
Right.
office. You know, you
Right.
have, how many people are working out of their home? You know, even before COVID, how many people actually had an office in their home? A
Yeah.
lot of people.
Yeah,
And
a lot.
and you didn't utilize it because you had to go to an office. Well, that
Right.
kind of
Now
dumb,
you don't.
you know?
Well, and I'm actually in one of the offices that we get for free as part of our brokerage.
Oh, fantastic. The Reaches
Yeah,
office.
there's like 3 that I kind of go between.
Awesome. That's fantastic. I don't utilize them. I work from home. It works well. I happen to homeschool my son, so you know I have to be home all the time for that, and it just works for me. And there's other agents I know that some go to a brokerage, you know, an office that they've created,
Yeah,
and then some don't. Some work directly out of their house, and some.
right.
I have a friend who actually has an office in her closet, in her walk-in closet, and that's where her office is.
That's awesome. I
She's
love
gonna
it.
kill me for saying that if she sees this, but
You should tag her.
but yes, it's, you know, you can do it anywhere, right? Obviously, we can do that now. We can do it
Yeah,
anywhere. So
exactly. Cool. Well, I really appreciate you being on. I think it's good to hear how different people, why they chose EXP and what their journey was like. So thanks a lot, Sheila.
you're welcome.
Always a pleasure.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.